Peace and welcome, everyone. I want to talk today about how to know when it's your intuition coming online or fear when it comes to relationships of all kinds, especially intimate relationships, business partnerships, or agreements with others. And I bring this up because oftentimes I feel that our intuition, especially as women, is often downplayed. It is seen as irrational, illogical, and does not hold a high value in today's standards of patriarchal, logical thinking, having to make things make sense. And I feel like a lot of times it can be labeled or stamped as fear when our intuition starts coming online, right? So, how to know when something is your intuition? The biggest indicator to know when something is your intuition is how it feels in your body, right? This is going to be your indication to know this is my intuition because it's my body. It's how your body responds around a certain person or in certain environments or situations. And when you get that feeling in your body that something just doesn't feel right, this is the other thing of how to know it's your intuition. It often does not make sense because intuition is not a logical thing that needs to make sense. It is going to be based on a feeling. You might not be able to explain it. It might just be something you know, right? Have you ever just known something without knowing why? You can't explain it, you just know. These are indicators that this is your intuition, right? So, clear indicators that it is fear. So, oftentimes, and these two can they can dance together. Like when you're getting an intuitive hit of like something's not right, something's a little off, fear might turn on, and fear is going to be the mind. It's going to be how the mind thinks about it. It's going to try to rationalize it. It's going to try to make it make sense. And this is when you know now you're going away from intuition and you're going more into fear, a fear based space. So, how to know this, right? Like when you're like, let's just say you're in a relationship or you're getting to know somebody. And when you're around them, your body is like not feeling super safe or very comfortable or at ease. So when the body is not feeling at ease, it might be signaling for us to realize, hey, for us to consciously realize that this person isn't really aligning for me. It doesn't really feel right. But you might want to be like, the mind might want to come on and be like, well, that doesn't make sense because I'm just starting to get to know them. Maybe it's just my fear of connection, getting connected with somebody. And all of those things are valid, right? So you want to be able to take the whole spectrum into account, but always come back to your embodied knowing. Sometimes it's not going to be easy to determine whether it's a fear based way of moving or if it's an intuitive based way of knowing. But the way to always be sure is to just come back home to yourself. Nothing needs to be make sense to anybody or even yourself when you decide when something is not for you. It does not need to make sense to anyone, not even you. Why you need to do what you need to do when you just know you need to do it. Okay. And you might want to practice this, right? A lot of times we have numbed ourselves from our intuition since children because of indoctrination, the educational system, how we maybe grew up in our homes. And so our intuition is a gift, but maybe it hasn't been online in a long time. And so you want to practice allowing your intuition to come online. How do you do this? By getting into your body. How do you get into your body? Well, take a moment right now. Where are your feet? Do you feel your feet? Can you tune into the soles of your feet that connect you to the earth? How about your hips? How's your pelvis feeling right now? How about your breasts? Do your breasts feel free to expand with breath? Does your chest feel free to expand with breath? Right? What about the top of your head? These are just very small key ways to tune into the body throughout the days by checking into different parts of your body and where they're at, if you can tune into them and sense them. Some other great ways to get connected into the body is any movement practice. So this could be dance, this could be yoga, this could be Tai Chi, Qigong, it could be exercise, whatever your jam is, like get into your body. And also, the other element of getting into your body, after you move, it's imperative that you find stillness, right? Everything comes in balance. There is no day without night. There can be no movement without stillness. And our stillness does not only have to be when we go to bed at night. This often is not stillness for us because our mind is still right? And then we wake up and it's da 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 da. We don't even feel restful after a night's sleep. So conscious rest is important after movement. After you've moved throughout your day or after you've done your movement practice, sit and find stillness. Lay your body down. I would even encourage you to lay on your back or on your belly, front or back side, and just like not do anything. Just be there. This is going to support you in being able to begin to turn on and activate different sensors of our bodies. And when we do this, when we get connected and we build a relationship with our body, we're also building a relationship with our intuition. What is intuition? It's something we know without needing an explanation. It's a truth that lives inside of our body that we don't need an explanation for. Like I said, this is not often valued in our society. So it's going to take practice to turn this gift back online or turn the volume on it up. But you can do it. And this is going to support you when it comes to all aspects of your life, whether it's that relationship with an intimate partner, whether it's knowing when to take a job or not, or when to leave a job or not. It's everything, because we are set up often in this society to be guided into our decisions and our choices, or to make those decisions and choices based on other people's points of views or direction for us. So when we come into intuition, we're no longer relying on other people's maps to guide our life. We are relying on our own inner map, our own inner guidance to guide our life. And this is where true power comes from. This is your true power. When you are living your life and making choices based on your inner knowing, your inner compass, your inner map, right? So this is going to support you in navigating all aspects of your life. And this has honestly been the biggest lesson that I have learned in this lifetime, and I'm still learning. I am a recovering people pleaser. I have often been indecisive in life and allowed other people to make choices for me or to decide for me, or not be able to speak up and say, no, I want this instead of that. And so it took me a long time, especially in relationship with other people, to know whether or not it was my intuition speaking or if it was my fear speaking, the ego or the intuition. And I have been in situations where, people have been like, oh, that's just your fear talking. And so it made me second guess my inner knowing, my intuition. And it doesn't mean that like your intuition isn't going to have remnants of fear around it. You might feel fear even feeling what you're feeling. I've been there before too, when I knew I needed to end a relationship, but I had no reason, no logical reason why to do it. Inside of me, I just knew I needed to, but it brought up a lot of fear. It brought up a lot of fear because it didn't make sense. I didn't feel like I could make this choice if it didn't make sense. And I was worried about hurting the other person, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, if I had to listen to that intuitive nudge, much sooner, I could have saved myself a lot of heartache, a lot of time. I could have saved the other person a lot of time, and we could have, gone our own ways with love and joy sooner to free up both of ourselves. So take time to build this relationship with your inner guidance system, your intuition. Begin to know what it feels like when your body is talking to you, when that inner voice is talking to you, and know how to distinguish it between fear, right? Fear of running away, fear of not wanting to connect, fear, because the fear is there too. But ultimately, it doesn't matter if it's fear or not. If it doesn't feel right for you, it's not right. It does not need to make sense to you or anyone else when something no longer is resonating in your life or your field of consciousness. And so I hope this supports you, especially the women out there who are navigating relationships or careers where something's just not feeling right. And you can't make it make sense, right? You're trying to think your way into a decision or a choice. Let it all go. Come into your divine feminine knowing, your embodiment. This is where your true power lies. And if something is no longer resonant for you, I invite you to have the courage to set yourself free and to set that thing free too, because it's going to open up space for new, vibrant, juicy, vital vitality of life and energy to come into your sphere.